going to start off by saying, well, thanks, Khali, for giving me this charge. I feel, empowered by this. I'm not really the MC type, but Terry tonight is going to be starting things off. He's prepared some poetry, and it's going to go along with a bit of percussion that Blair, Khali's dad, and Khali are going to be providing. So I want you guys to give it all up for Terry and Khali and Blair, some poetry.
This is a poem about what happens when a kiss falls too soon. Somewhere west of here, between the valley of yes and no, I came upon a desert rose with buttons in her hair. She said she was aroused by sun and silk and angels' wings and pieces of broken sky. I could see a trail of feathers leading from her bed. I could see clouds in the weather vane of her eyes. I could see whole miracles in her hands. I could count the moments of her rapture by the way she held her head. So I asked her, what happens when a kiss falls too soon? And she began to cry. She began to cry. Whole rivers, whole monsoons of grief. She began to cry. She began to cry. Rivers, whole monsoons of grief. She said there is a kiss so enchanting, it maddens the lips of every man who receives it. I kissed her hand 1,000 times. She offered me up the fire that burns all rage away. I offered up my shame, offered up my rage, my shame, my rage, my shame, my rage, my shame, my rage. And she torched me with one look. She said, there is a desert where all men must walk. So I left her there, standing with one last sigh. And I walked into those sands. Walked into the sands. Walked into the sands. She began to cry. She began to cry. Whole rivers, whole monsoons of grief. Whole rivers, whole monsoons of grief. Tears are only shadows. Tears are only shadows of the reasons why we cry. Tears are only shadows of the reasons why we cry. Tears why we cry. Reasons why we cry. Tears are only shadows of the reasons why we cry.